Hey everybody. So I did a talk. I'm calling them Candid Conversations with Candace. I did a talk about my experience in Estonia with Mindvalley University. And we recorded it, but a lot of people were sharing their own personal thoughts and experiences. So I thought that maybe it'd be better if I just re-record. And I'm going to do them in smaller segments so that it's not big one long, talk. So the first part that I want to talk about is what Mindvalley is. And no, I am not, um, anyone who's advertising Mindvalley, but I wanted to tell you about what it was and how I even came into it. So Mindvalley is an online education resource, and there's different quests or classes that you can take. And the teachers are from all over the place, and they're renowned and they are experts in their field, and they're really, really interesting. And you can take a quest that has to do with your physical health, your relationship, business, personal growth, spirituality. There's so many different things that you can look into. So I joined Mindvalley back in January, and I've taken some quests, and it's been really interesting. But Mindvalley University is what I participated in this summer when I went to Estonia. And it was something that I'd never considered at all. Like, I didn't think that I would go or wouldn't go. It just never crossed my mind because it's in Europe. So what had happened was in April, I came into a little extra money through taxes, and I hadn't filed my childcare from the year before. And so I refiled and I got some extra money. And that very day, I happened to come across Mindvalley University again. And this time my intuition said, "You're going to go." And I was like, okay. So the next day I looked into it, and happened to come across that day, April 25th, was the last day that you could apply to be a volunteer. And I was like, well, isn't that curious? So, but I still bought my ticket to go to Mindvalley, and I booked an Airbnb in Old Town, Tallinn, Estonia, and I took it from there. And I was telling people about it right away. I also sent a message to my ex and said that I was going to be gone for 3 weeks this summer. And it happened to be the last day or the day that he had to submit his contract as a travel nurse. And I said, well, I'm going to be gone. So, needless to say, I got accepted to be a volunteer, and they refunded my ticket. So, what I paid for was my travel expenses and my housing expenses. And then I also brought money just to have in Estonia. So it was an amazing experience. It was 3 weeks. So I thought, if I'm going to come all the way from Canada, that I'm going to stay the entire time. I volunteered for 1 week, and I was at the registration desk. And what I learned was how great I am with people. So you might know that I'm a teacher by day, and a high school teacher. And I'm really good at connecting with students, especially when they are resistant. But what I noticed, that when I was out of my element, I realized how good I am with connecting with people. I'm able to see people who need something, and I love assisting. And a lot of people thought that I worked at Mindvalley. It just seemed to be that I was the go-to person when I was doing the volunteering. And I was able to quickly go find out whatever it was that they needed to know. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. I love getting to know new people. So it was really cool to be out of my element, but feel so much in place. So that's what I got out of it. That's what Mindvalley is. If you're interested, you can look up Mindvalley, Mindvalley University. It's going to be taking place again in Tallinn, Estonia next July. I will not be going this time. One thing that I learned was I didn't really feel like a Mindvalley avatar. What I mean was, it seemed like Mindvalley University was really focused on youth and beauty and health and all those things. And here I am, a middle-aged mother of three, single, still balancing a career, definitely not a nomad at this time. That was a lot of people were traveling all over. It was like, wow, it was really exciting. And I felt totally in my zone, and I felt like I belonged, but in a way I felt a little bit that the vibe was a little bit different from where I was at in my life. But that's not why I'm not going. I'm not going because I have a whole new thing that's going to be coming up in September 2023, which I'll talk about in another clip. So I'm going to end this one here and continue on with what some of the events were like and some of the speakers. So thanks. Let's continue on.